Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of German Empire in Kaiserreich, and we're picking where we left off. So, in the last episode we didn't have time to read this, so I'm going to read it now. The German agrarian crisis. The German agricultural sector, struggling for years at this point, has suffered greatly from the economic crisis sparked by the Black Monday market crash. It is the latest step in the persistent decline of German agriculture ever since the late 19th century. The culmination of many years of inefficient and outdated methods, unfortunate global market developments, and stalling, poorly future-oriented agrarian policies. Compared to its Western competitors, such as Britain or the United States, German agriculture has consistently lagged behind in efficiency. 25% of all arable land across the empire is held by 0.2% of the land owners, most of which are operating in East Albia. But since the late 20s, small and mid-sized farmers all across the nation have started to feel the effects of this looming efficiency crisis as well. Steady price erosion for agricultural goods due to cheaper competition from abroad and shriveling purchasing power have slowly led many farmers into the never-ending downward spiral of growing indebtedness. What could initially be battled via the reintroduction of protective tariffs and import quotas, undoubtedly a controversial policy instrument within Middle Europa, has at the end of the day only postponed the inevitable. With the collapse of the German banking sector, the looming crisis will soon aggravate as many estates and enterprises which have relied on loans to stay afloat are bound to default on these in the near future. And the collapsing demand for agricultural goods could be the nail in the coffin. This substantial crisis had already begun to fuel the DKP electoral campaign and placed the question of a drastically different agricultural policy on the agenda. What many have seemed to forgotten, though, is the fact that the Conservatives are partly responsible themselves for this dilemma. Via their candidate in the State Secretariat of Agriculture, Martin Schiele, and his controversial agricultural policies during the last decade. For now, his political fate is on a knife's edge. The great Junker estates are a thing of the past. Gain-based stability, -6, -10 war support, 2 civilian factory removes. The economic crisis is getting worse. Okay. We don't have... Okay, let's minimize this, minimize that. Okay, no, we don't want to do anything about that. City Council elections in Berlin. The term of the incumbent mayor of Berlin, Heinrich Zahm, is set to expire, and the new election is thus slated to be held by the Berlin City Council. As a democratic independent, Zahm served as the mayor of several other cities in the past before moving to Berlin, and is generally supported by the local liberal and conservative deputies. The political upheaval after Black Monday gives an opportunity for the Berlin Social Democrats to win elections to the city council and appoint one of their own, Otto Ostrowski, current mayor of the Prenzlauer Berg borough of Berlin. Ostrowski is seen as a member of the left-wing faction of the SPD, and the victory for him would signal a significant change in Berlin politics. It would also be a bellwether of the nation's turn to the left and empower social democratic activity in other cities. Because of this, LVP and AKP have joined forces in Berlin, seeking to help Zahm empower and return a victory for the right and center. Once the election comes and passes, the result is... Okay, we want... I'm on the side of AKP, right? I want Zahm to win another term. That's right wing. Okay. Good luck. Black-White-Red coalition formed. Reorganization is taking place among the German parties as long as suspected collaborators between the conservative agrarian AKP and the far-right DVLP has been officially announced by their chairman, Kuno von Verstappen and Ulrich von Hassel. This agreement entails raising joint candidates in key constituencies and a joint candidate for chancellor in the next Reichstag. Though no candidate has been named yet, several have been considered by the press, including Karl Friedrich Goerdler, Thilo von Wilmowski, Ewald von Kleist-Schmenzen, and Walter von Keudel. In an official statement, both parties have described the alliance as a necessary measure to defend the German banner from ceaseless partisanship and societal decline. Reflected in the alliance name Schwarz-Weiß-Rot, black, white, red, the colors of the imperial flag. Full cooperation in the German right has been long anticipated by the SPD and the Democratic parties, although it failed to materialize in the 20s and early 30s due to issues between leadership and the overlapping voting blocs of the two parties. These hurdles appear to have been overcome, however, and a warring right-wing coalition appears imminent, all for renewing the German spirit. Nice. Okay, how am I? Let's pull the... Panzer goes here, and the rest can go here. Okay. Let's see how is Afghanistan doing. Okay. That's not my. Okay, those are my units. Is there a unit here? Yes. Oh, damn. The communards resist the government of the commune offense and show its true face and refuse to accept a reasonable demand. Though their reputation will suffer a little, this is a meager gain compared to the group's intentions. They'll think differently once we march in Paris a second time. Game base for support plus 5%, commune offense, game base support minus 20. Hugenberg Group's propaganda drive. The second chairman of the DVLP, below only Ulrich von Hassel, Alfred Hugenberg, is one of the most important politicians in the party. Though his position is largely symbolic, he commands a notable clique within the party and supports it through his considerable wealth and influence. A wealthy businessman and press baron, Hugenberg commands the so-called Hugenberg Group, a media empire commanding newspapers, publishers, and advertising agencies across the empire. Their papers sell hundreds of thousands of copies and hold considerable sway on public opinion. Of course, their articles are biased towards Hugenberg's preferred party and virulently despise both socialists and Jews. The 1936 electoral campaign has given the DVLP hope that they can position themselves as leader of an all-right coalition in the Reichstag after the election, so the party's central committee has requested a mass propaganda drive from the second chairman, an aggressive promotion campaign for the Münchner Neueste Nachrichten and Der Tag, the expansion of the Telegraphen Union news agency and promotion of the articles to more and more newspapers. Perhaps even a few movie deals, all could serve to get the image of the party of Tirpitz out there. Where should the resources of the campaign be concentrated, however? Focusing on the Illustrierte Nachstausgabe and cutting deals with urban newspapers will improve the DVLP's chances to win the middle class in the cities and cut down social democrat growth. On the other hand, the Telegraphen Union has fostered good relationship within the independent rural news outlets, and investing more in this relationship will aid the conservative cause in the Prussian countryside. Urban districts, DVLP 5, far-right candidates 2, minor liberals 2. DVLP 5, DKP 3, agrarian candidate. I mean, the far-right candidates are like, yeah, not really. DVLP 5 or DKP. I'd rather have DVLP and DKP. So let's go invest in more rural. On ecumenism. Centrum has seen better days. Since the end of the Weltkrieg, the party has helped to form all 10 cabinets, whether to the left, right, or center. Strategy that has left it so sorely unprepared for these times of polarization. as it now struggles to keep its voters away from the SPD, DVLP and upstart agrarian parties. Under these conditions, the party's ruling cadre has begun to waver. Centrum's current chairman, Theodor von Gerard, has served for the last 5 years with an eye on managing the party's various factions, but he has indicated that should Centrum be pushed from power in the coming elections, he will retire from his position. News has put the entire party on maneuvers, and the first blow has come from the right flank. Heinrich Held, the Bavarian minister-president, has published the article in the Kölnische Volkszeitung on the party's future, in which he calls not only for a stronger commitment to regional and conservative issues, but for the party to reach out to Protestant voters willing to defend both. In throwing the glove forth, Held revisits one of the party's most contentious debates. Over time, many rightists and trade unionists have entertained the idea of taking Centrum out of the tower, transforming it from a purely Catholic party to an all-Christian People's Party. In their eyes, such a party could unite middle class, working class and rural interests and provide a bulwark against the growing left. Held's remarks on Christian unity has been echoed by leading trade unionist Adam Stegerwald, who many believe to be the frontrunner to succeed von Gerard. The party's progressives watched these developments with concern. In recent years, the left flank have championed the Catholic nature of Centrum out of fear that Protestant votes would draw the party to the right, and indeed, both Held and Stegerwald have suggested overtures to the DKP and even more right-wing parties. The strongest rebuttal to Held's article has come from leading Baden progressive Joseph Wirth, who argues that such adventures risk the party's position in the center and the trust of the Catholic electorate at a critical time. Whether Wirth's words will be heeded is an open question. This is not the time to be exposing ourselves to such risk. Centrum gains 5 seats, and the left wing of Centrum is strengthened. The party must reach out from the tower to survive. Centrum will lose 5 additional seats and strengthen the right wing of Centrum. Yeah, let's strengthen the right wing. We want that. Okay. The Kenyatta affair. Another unique case has been sluggishly passed throughout our legal system for years. Now, it has reached the highest court in the German state. Anti-colonial activist Jomo Kenyatta has brought a class action lawsuit against the former Middle African administration for its conduct during the 1925 pacification of Kenya. The case has become something of a political embarrassment, as some of the plaintiffs are British settlers. It cannot be easily dismissed. They claim that the Schutztruppe harmed them through policies of illegal land seizures and even abductions and torture, all done with the knowledge of the Middle African administration and with little legal basis. While the main parties involved are no longer part of our administration, commentators have noted that an award by the court could potentially set a precedent as to what the permissible extent of rule bending of our colonial administration is. We have nothing to fear. Final verdict. No, it's not here. Okay. Did he unlock anything else? No, just... German-American self-defense organizing during the American Civil War, using the support Civil War faction decision, will raise 3 German-American militia divisions with 6 infantry battalions for that faction. What's this? Scotland? Yeah. Last one. Okay, let's go with... Let's go with this. Okay. economic freefall ceases. Having been in freefall for the past months, the economic crisis has finally reached a modicum of stability, or at least it doesn't have much elsewhere to fall. The least stable companies' backs have gone under, and now the most durable ones compete in a shrunken, silenced environment. Investors' trust is at an all-time low, so new investments are non-existent and production stagnates. And of course, millions of workers who had stable jobs last year are now on the streets, desperate for work. But companies shaken by the financial collapse are very hesitant to expand and employ more workers again. The initial surprise and shock in the German government has subsided, and our secretariats and ministries have begun developing solutions. The amount of work is enormous. The state must somehow recover the economy of the empire back to its old heights, taking on challenges which may require wildly different financial strategies each. The bureaucrats and officials thus eagerly await the result of the April election. Perhaps the next government will have the political capital needed for this necessary action. We shall through the milk of the golden 20s. The Black Monday Crisis card game will be initiated. We must win at least 10 rounds of the game and improve economic health. -1 to put an end to the crisis. Plus 5 cards will be drawn for the deck. What is this? Wow, that's kind of interesting. Okay, let's go for research. Verdict. Years of legal battle have come to an end. Earlier today, when the litigation of Jomo Kenyatta ended at the highest court of Germany, while the KQ lawyer has skillfully defended his points, the defense was represented by renowned politician theorist Carl Schmitt. The jury produced a novel defense that has established a new legal precedent. The Schutztruppe command has allegedly acted in the interest of the state by taking the necessary steps to ensure the integrity of our empire in a state of exception. The finer details of Schmidt's case were largely based on his essay on political theology, which gave birth to the phrase "sovereign is he who decides on the exception." Whether Schmidt intended this or not, the phrase has become a catchphrase for the supporters of a more hardline approach to colonial governance. What is this nonsense? Legation cities voting bailout. Black money has left deep scars in the global economy, and particularly on the Deutsche Asiatische Bank in Shanghai, which seems to have fallen victim to unscrupulous business practices and possibly insider trading. The delegation are now seeking guidance on how they should vote concerning the proposed bailout of the EIB. That's this, right? Legation cities. Approve the motion, deny the motion, and abstain. Okay, approve the motion. In Sichuan. No majority in the 1936 election. As predicted by quite a few during the campaign, no majority has been found in the Reichstag after the elections of 1936. A majority is impossible without the participation of either the SPD or the VLP, two parties on different ends of the political spectrum, either of which would need time to dismantle the old consensus and craft a new coalition in the legislature. However, there is no time for the Reichstag to bicker amongst themselves until they form a government. With each passing day, the economic situation grows worse and the faith of the people falters further. When the parliamentarians cannot lead, the duty to make a decision falls to the Kaiser, Wilhelm II. Even after much in the constitution, his role in the formation of governments remains definite. And whenever there is no obvious majority in the Reichstag, he has seen fit to appoint compromise choices like Brockdorf or royalists of the court like Derrickson. So, through Crown Prince Wilhelm, the Kaiser was recommended an interesting choice, Kurt von Schleicher, the current Minister of War of Prussia. Ever since Leo von Caprivi's resignation in 1894, Wilhelm II has been reluctant to appoint military candidates to the office, and parliamentarians would hardly wish to see a uniformed man command the empire either, as it brings back memories of Hindenburg and Ludendorff's plotting during the Weltkrieg. However, Schleicher offers several valuable qualities as well. During the past 2 decades, he has nurtured the image of a moderate who works well with the Reichstag, has ties and connections across the political spectrum, and is a noted supporter of the trade unions such as the ADGB, earning him the moniker the Red General. At a time when national unity is necessary, all of these qualities are crucial. Finally, he is a close friend of Crown Prince Wilhelm, who is a major influence on his aged father and eventually got him to appoint the new Reichskanzler. Welcome, Reichskanzler Schleicher. Game base ability 2%, remove March leads to April. Point advisor Kurt von Schleicher with the effects political power gain 15%, consumer good factories 10. Division recovery rate 5, protection efficiency cap 5, -5. Kevin Schleicher becomes the ruling party. It seems unlikely that he can stay for long. Okay. Kevin Schleicher. Okay. Let's try and take this. Can we take that? The vote passes. The most recent vote in the Legation Council has passed by a comfortable majority. It will not be implemented. Interesting. What are my troops doing? Go here. Okay, be still. Okay, let's go with buying time with spies. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode we're going to read this out. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.